learning how to face our fears is a way of getting into the stream of life in a more proactive way, where life begins to kind of favor you a little bit more because you're willing to take certain calculated risks. Life is always changing. Life is transforming. We are being born, we're developing, we're growing, our clan is changing. And that change naturally provokes needs to leap into the unknown. Once we actually get over ourselves to actually face the fear, that's like the easiest part of the situation. It's a lot harder when the fear is compounding, and I'm just like, I'm feeling fearful, so I'm avoiding the situation. And because I'm avoiding it, then it's just hanging out there, or it's growing in my mind or in reality and getting worse. We're always involved in a process of becoming who we are, who we are next, right? Life doesn't stay still. And so when we are aspirational in that, when we want to become something better or improved or something we like more that's different than it is, then there's inherently a risk that's taken, where we're taking a kind of leap. What is the fear that we feel, like just being here, right? And I think we try to do that. If you listen to our show for some time, that this is not an abstract kind of conversation, right? This is more of an experiential interaction. We are trying to model for you all, and it's growthful for us personally to actually deal live with the topics that we are discussing.
For me, I think a lot of it comes back to this idea of fear of failure. And it's such a funny concept if you think about it. I think fear in some ways, when I think about it, is like this primal emotion, right? There's some sort of a threat, there's some sort of a danger. The emotion of fear is meant to activate us, right, into some sort of a response. Fight or flight, of course, is the common framework. But whatever it might be, right? Some reaction to get us to act in response to a threat or danger. And I think about when I've felt that kind of fear before.
But if we just understand some baselines around the way that fear works within our nervous system, and that we have that physiological nervous system response you were describing to being in threatening situations, right? And that activates our amygdala. As you said, we get put into a fight flight.
Yeah, and the way that I think about some of that too is the social component and finding social belonging and cohesion is contributing to our sense of security, right? So when we talk about the physical danger, right? What is the physical danger triggering in us? It's a feeling that our security is at risk, right? That something might happen to us. And I think, to your point, it's a very similar physiological experience, maybe not to the same degree, when we feel like our security is challenged by loss of social standing, right? It's like, why is fear of public speaking, right, like the number one fear, right? And it's like, oh, because you're going to go up there and lose social standing and then lose that sense of security.
The fear is accompanying the opportunity for some sort of creative process, something unexpected to leap forward. And I think when we talk about vibrancy on this show, or what does it mean to be vibrantly living, I think part of that is the embrace of that, right? Like the showing up, the being present for like, I have no idea what's going to really happen today, and in this moment, but I'm here. I'm not following like a set rote program. I'm not hiding from it, but like I'm here for the unexpected. I'm here to be stimulated by that, entertained by that in a certain way, and to contribute something positive toward it.
Fear is always going to be present, right? This idea of becoming fearless or being fearless, that what's it called? Internalization, right? Of, hey, this is a reality. Things are changing. Fear is always going to be present. I think that's so important to start with. And then to get to a place where we can view that reality in a positive way or as like an opportunity, like you said, I think that's like a superpower, right? If we can really unlock that for ourselves. And I hope to be tapping into that, and really orienting around that as we go into this mini series. But that's exciting, right? It's exciting to be like, hey, there's a world in which I can feel fear, but alongside it, hopefully at least equally, and if not in greater quantity, also feel excitement, right? And opportunity and a possibility of creativity and creation. And I think for all of that to coexist is actually beautiful, right? And then we can lean into our fears and use our fears even to channel it in a direction that is meaningful and vibrant and attractive to us.
But alongside that is the reality as well that so much of our fears are kind of biologically misplaced. We're applying our fear into areas that essentially create limitation and unfortunate loss in our life of possibilities because we're too scared to experience the life that's potentially available if we're willing to take that risk.
Even as in being a coach, right? And at times there's this contraction, this fear of like, oh, maybe I'm going to say something that is off base, or maybe I'm going to say something that is taken in a way that's negative, right? And that fear is holding back possibility, right? And if I think about kind of where I want to be, and many times I am, and many times I'm not, right? It's that person that can, like you said, take calculated, well-intentioned risks, right? That are like seeing the fear, but being comfortable overcoming it.
What's on the other side of that fear experience is flow, is the experience of love, of meaning, of connection, possibility, profundity. All of that lives, beyond the realms of constriction and tension and fear. And it encapsulates them too. I mean, it's part of the totality of life there. It's hard, it's painful to live in a fearful state. And it's a part of life, so we're not sidestepping it. But I think all of us want to experience a sense of flow, positivity, energy, moving in our life.